get up on your feet. What you need to do is catch up with them. Bounce, man, get up on your feet and help me get it.
An eco-fashion designer has spent 4 weeks creating a stunning ball gown made entirely of one. "5 tons of marine waste." Former GP Linda Thomas, from Bristol, spotted a group of volunteers collecting the lump of marine waste, which had been bobbing around off Pentewan Sands Beach for 4 years after it tumbled off a cargo ship. Admiring their efforts on social media, she asked if she could have some of the soggy and smelly material to make into a dress. And after 4 weeks of cleaning, drying and sewing, Dr. Thomas created an elegant, halter-neck ball gown. The frock was worn by singer Jasmine Flowers at the Ocean Plastic Crisis Summit in London. Beach cleaner Tony Dorick, 41, and a team of volunteers dragged the waste, dubbed the monster in, and cut it up when it floated close to the waterline in January. Mum of 3 Tony, from Little Polgooth, St. Austell, said, "I had seen it in the water, and it really bothered me." Locals business said it had been there for 4 years. "I put out an appeal on social media for people to come down the next day, and 8 of us started work on it. "3 hours later we'd managed to remove this 1.5-ton monster. I thought Linda was balmy when she contacted me and said she wanted to make a dress out of it. I thought it would be tatty and look like something that had come from a shipwreck, but what the designer created was phenomenal." Linda, from Bristol, added, "The material has been very difficult to wash the sand and mud off. More than any other dress I think tells the story that it has been at sea. I used about 80 meters of it in layers and then top-stitched with vintage orange cotton thread and shell buttons." The monster is understood to have been a reel of fabric destined to top sanitary towels or nappies and fell from a cargo shop carrying pharmaceutical supplies. Speaking about waste products, Linda said, "Menstrual products are one of the big single-use plastics that end up in the ocean, but which we rarely talk about," she said. "Women deserve to know what these are really made of and that they are polluting our seas and what the alternatives are." Locals said it was first spotted 4 years ago, and Tony saw it 18 months ago when she was having radiotherapy treatment for breast cancer, so too unwell to haul it in. She spotted it again in late January and posted videos of the tendrils of maki fabric snaking over the waves and sand on social media, asking people to help the next day. Armed with scissors, they hacked away at the mess for hours and bagged up 80 meters for Linda, binning the rest. "I never believed that just 8 of us would be able to remove well over a ton of marine waste in 3 hours," Tony said. "It was a shining example of how passionate people can come together and achieve great things." After being poorly, life came dramatically into focus. "The beach has always been a place where I could come to relax, play or to reflect. Why wouldn't we want to look after this beautiful planet and leave the world a better place for our children? Linda, a former GP turned fashion designer, painstakingly untangled it, washed it in buckets, hung it on the line to dry, ironed it, and layered it up to 6 times to stitch it into a dress. It was finished just in time for the Ocean Plastic Crisis Summit in London on Tuesday, where it was worn by singer Jasmine Flowers, who performed at the event. It comes after Linda made a 22 meters wave of waist dresses from 100 discarded bodyboards last year.